Hello guys and welcome to this video, and in this video we'll be starting a new series called how to make a search engine. We're not going to be using Flask, but we'll be using React.js. Actually my search engine video got a lot of views, and got comments to make a new one as the old one is actually not working properly. So we can start off with that. And so before you go, we are using something called as React.js. So React.js is a JavaScript framework and it requires Node.js to run. So uh, I suggest you to learn React.js, but I'm going to cover like very basics of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to google.com and see here. And now what we are going to do is that we will actually search for Node.js. I'll just type the spelling wrong. So you can see that I have Node.js. You can click on Node.js and it will basically load the Node.js for you. You can see that I have Node.js over here, and you can just click this and download basic setup, and after that it's done. Then after that you have to just restart your PC, and what you have to do is run this command called mpx create react app, and you have to give an app name. So I gave it jelly clone tute. You can give whatever you want. So after that, it'll just create an app for you. Then after that, we have to add a dependency called React Router DOM so that we can create routes, and we can like switch pages and add like slash or something like that. So if you do that, it'll add the dependency. You can see that I'm using something called as yarn. To basically get yarn, you have to do mpx install g yarn. So if you do this, it'll basically install yarn, and yarn is a very fast way of using the node package manager, that is npm. Then after that you have to run yarn start on the like the folder which we created for, even it's telling here like we have to go to the folder and then do npm start, but we are using yarn start so that everything is fast enough. Then after you do yarn start, you will get a page like this, something like this called react.js page. So now that's done, we have started up React.js. We'll just keep this aside, and I will just open the new browser screen over here, guys. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to firebase.google.com. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to deploy the app in the internet. So for that, we actually need something called as Firebase. So along with Firebase, we need the Google, like this search engine API tokens, so that we can do the search engine API, like get all the search results. So what we are going to do is go to console.firebase.com, and you have to just create a new project. We are just keeping the project for now, and you just have to create this project so that we integrate both Google Cloud and Firebase. So it's a very weird way of creating a Google project, but you can enter near name. I'll say that GLE clone tutes. You can see that I have the project name. I'll go continue and I will disable the analytics and I'll create the project. You can see that the project is actually being created, and yeah. So what we'll do is we'll actually go to google.com here, and we'll search for Google Cloud. So you actually, what we are doing, all this needs a Google account. So I have my Google account, and I suggest you to create one for programming. So you go to Cloud Google, you can type Google Cloud. You can see that it takes you to the cloud.google.com. So what we'll be doing is basically doing some basic setup so that we get everything running. Okay, so you can see that we have this console. Click on this console button here. We will take you to the console. Okay, we'll see if our Firebase is finishing. So it's just finished, and you can go to continue. You can see that our Firebase project is created, and we don't need this anymore until we host the app. You can see that the project is created. So I'll just close this, and we will go to the console here. Okay, guys, you can see that my console is open. I will also, like resize the screen a bit. Um, So you can see guys, I'm actually in another project here, but it won't show you like that. So what you have to go here is go to this icon, and from here, actually I've opened another project and it's actually still here. So yeah, you can see that I get this drop down so that I can uh, view all my projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this here. The site is very unresponsive. Okay. So like you can see that I have all my project here. You can see that I have all my project, recent project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for project. I think we can create a new project and then integrate the Google GLE clone or something like that. I will do that, I guess. GLE uh, clone. Uh, Cute. You can see that it's done. You don't need this organization thing, and we'll just create the project here. You can see that it's created, and I can click select project here so that it selects my project. You can see that this looks very good over here. We have all this, but actually what we need is we can just open the navigation menu, and we can go to APIs and services, I think, and we can go to credentials, and we'll just wait so that it opens the credentials here. You can see that I don't have any API keys, and we need this API key so that we can make an API request. So we'll search for a product call as search engine. We'll just see. Okay, search. It gives us actually an suggestion here. Okay, so like we'll actually go to Google here. I think this option is no longer available over here. Okay, guys. So we'll search for Google search engine API. So you can see that we open this, and you can see that you get this programmable search engine, so that we, like get the search engine like the API thing. So you can click on that. You can see that like we can basically get from things from like the programmable search engine. You can see that we have a lot of things. So you'll just click on create key, get a key. So we'll basically get a key for a particular project, I guess. So like we'll just select our project for now, and that is going to be this GLE clone tude that we created, and we'll just go to next. You see, guys, we got our API key. We'll just copy this API key, go back here, and I'll actually go to VS Code. I'll create a new file here called keys. So it's just an empty file called keys, and I'll actually paste my key over here and just save it. Okay. Now what I will do is we'll go to APIs and services. We'll go to credentials here. You can see that we have an API key over here, and you can like see show key. So like it will show the API key for the Google search engine. So we are going to use this API key along with an API URL to get our results, and this will actually give the real Google results. And this API is also provided by Google, so it's something like Google is giving you own results, so that we can make its clones or something. And we'll just close this, and you can see that everything is over here is done. So we'll just close everything. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to create a um, something like an home page. I actually made this app before, so I will just open it for you. So this already deployed app, and your app is going to look just like this. exactly just like this. And so what we'll do is we can search anything we want, like YouTube, and you can see that uh, we get all the search results. If I even expand it, you can see that I get everything. Can search like anything related, like coding or something, and you know what it will do is it'll actually get everything related to coding and stuff. You can see that it just gets the Google results over here. We're going to make an app like this, and you see we have this dummy buttons and this home button so that we go back. And now what we are going to do is design this exact screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this here, and I'm just going to open my React and dock it to the side, and I will also get my VS Code. So what I'm going to do is you can see that we have a bunch of files over here. So what I will say is hold control, and we will remove all the unnecessary files, these three files over here. You can see that I have removed it. We will keep app.css like that. But what we will do to app.css is that I'll just make the screen a little bit. Okay. So I'll just press Control A and I will delete everything in app.css. I'll go back to app.js, and what we'll do is we'll remove this, and I'll type import React from React, something like this. And what I'm going to do is just going to take everything from here, and I'm going to save this. And you can see that it will run the reload soon. And you can see that we have an empty web page over here, which is a good sign. And this index.js, like, I'll suggest you not to, like, touch it, because it has good font settings over here. You just leave it like that. We'll go to the public over here, and you can see this, you have this fav icon and all. We'll just leave this like that. Okay, so we go to app.js over here, and first thing we will do is um actually um okay, so what we will do is actually import some dependency, the React router which we actually got. So I'll press Control B so that I get some more space over here. So what we're going to do is actually import the React router first thing. So what we'll do is we'll import some stuff basically from React router DOM. So I'll just get the correct spelling over here. Okay, so you can I see I got the correct spelling, and we're actually going to import browser router route, and we are also going to import switch. SWITCH. We're going to import switch. You can see that we got all this here. Um, okay. So what we are going to do is we are just going to remove this div thing over here, and we're going to use a browser router. So what actually this does is, like, we can use this browser router, like, to make routable apps. And inside this browser router, we have to use the switch. So this is just how React router DOM works. So, and now the real thing is, like, we have to create the real route. So we create a route like this, and we set it to exact, so that we have the exact path, and we'll set to path equals slash. So this is going to be our home page type of thing, and it requires a component. So React actually works with component. Components are basically parts of your website or the web page what you're making. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder called components, and we're going to create something called the home.js. This is basically going to be your home page. So there is a shortcut called RFCE. If you have React router snippets installed, so you'll just create something like this, and we'll just say save. We'll go back here, and it requires a component. And what we'll do is we'll import dot slash components slash home dot js. Basically, we'll get that, and we put the home like this. So what it'll do is basically um, keep this home here, I guess. So yeah. So what we'll do is go here, and you can see this, we have this components over here, and you can see that it's still showing an error. So we should not get this error usually. I'll just save it and we'll just see what happens. Okay, you can see that I guess I got this component equals home, but actually I have to import the home itself from the component like this. So you can see that I'm getting the exported home function, which actually contains all the HTML for the page. So, so React.js is something like HTML, and you have like all the like the tags which HTML provides you with, and you can see that it's still having some problem here. Okay, guys, you can see that I have actually fixed some errors which have not been actually fixed for raw time because I have not keep in my work. You can see that basically you have to change the switch to routes here, and we have to use the element and give an element like this, like a tag, and you have to give the function name that is the home. See that the home page is created successfully, and you're basically done with creation of the home page. Now what you're going to do is add some styles, and we're going to make it look like the home page over here. And so what I'm going to do is I will just get okay, guys, so we just create the homepage now, and what we will do is basically start creating the homepage. What we'll do is we have the div here, and what we'll do is I'll also go to the styling, and now we'll add some custom class names. Say class name equals homepage, something like this. And what we'll do is we'll also add a div dot. So you can use this div dot like emit abbreviation. So home page underscore main. So basically this will be the main thing, and inside the homepage underscore main we have the image tag, and the source is actually going to be this one. So I'll just get the source over here and see that this is going to be the source, and what we're going to do is also give it a class name of ing here. So this will basically give the class name, and after that we'll actually have the real form over here. So this is actually going to be somewhat like a responsive site, and we actually have to give the on submit here, but we are not going to give the on submit. What we're going to do is again add a div and give it a class name of homepage underscore underscore input underscore home. So we'll actually create all the classes, CSS classes now, and actually it needs a search icon, but we're not going to add the search icon, but we're going to add the input over here. So you see that I have added the input, and input is actually a single tag. So we'll actually give it a single tag, and we will actually put the type as text and submit here also. But submit is not needed, we'll keep this type of text. And we'll also add the buttons here, the buttons group. So we'll keep div uh, and we'll keep the class name as buttons as home page buttons here. See that I have done created the buttons. Now we'll create two buttons here. So both are going to be type of submit. So I'll create a button here, and I will also create another button here. Okay. So for the first button, we'll actually add a closing tab because we're going to add something to it. Okay, guys. So you can see that I have added this, and inside the button, first thing we're going to add is search. So if you want to create, we're going to create a Google like thing. You can see that. And the first second thing we're going to keep as I am feeling lucky. So this is just a dummy button, I guess. But we'll see what we can do with this later. We just save the page. It'll reload soon. So what we'll do is go here go to the components, we'll create a new file called home.css. Okay guys, so we have created the home page here and the CSS. So we'll be basically adding all the styles and making the page look extremely cool. So what you're going to do is, first thing is the homepage class dot homepage and display flex. So basically it's going to be a flex box and we're going to justify all the content to the center, and then we're going to put the homepage underscore main basically contains all our content inside. And what we're going to put is text align center so that all our text is aligned centered, like this one is center. So what we're doing this home page is like this whole thing, and we're keeping this in the center. So we're going to do that. And for the homepage main, what you're going to do is like whatever is over here, like all this Google and stuff, this is all going to be centered. So we're going to center inside the center. Okay. Then after that, we'll also add some margin here so that on the top of 200 pixels, you guys can, change it. Homepage underscore underscore input. So in this input, we're going to set the um, display to be flex. And this is actually a trick actually. So display to be flex. What we'll do is the border here, we will change it to 1 pixel, solid and light gray. Why I'm doing this is what we're going to do is basically you see that this whole thing is inside a input thing actually. So this whole thing is inside input. So what we're going to do is make this input invisible and we're going to make actually the round Google thing over here. We'll just see what we're doing. Okay. Then actually we're going to add a padding next. So padding of 10 pixels. So everything looks neat. And also a border radius because the Google thing looks a little bit round. So border radius radius will be actually for the pixels here so that it looks more rounder. We'll also add a width of 200% so that it drags away. And we also have the align items to the center. Then we'll also add another margin so that everything looks neat, 20 pixels. Next, we're going to go to the input underscore underscore home underscore home. So this is actually going to be this thing. Like we're going to, um, like actually change that one. And actually, I guess I have missed an class over here. I forgot to add in class. I will just check. Um, okay, I guess I have not missed anything. And I'll just copy paste so that I save a lot of time and my recording doesn't become really huge. So what is we are doing is we're going to do something the same basically. Uh, I don't know why I did this in my code, but I'll just let it to be like that. Next, we are going to make the um, input invisible so that it is actually inside. So this is the code for that. What we're doing is we're making flex one so that it takes a lot of space, and we're going to do border none so that it becomes invisible. We're going to give a padding, a font size, and the outline none so that it looks more invisible. Next is going to be our media query over here. So I'm not going to explain much, but this is to make the thing responsible. So the when our screen width is 750, this will actually change the width to 200%. Okay, and the width to 300, and like everything actually going to change when our screen is becoming smaller. We'll just compress everything. Next, homepage underscore input form. So this is also another class. Um, so we'll just go back to home.js and you can see that input underscore main and yeah. So what we'll go and do is this is also another class I've added here so that everything looks more nice. Okay. And actually this is basically this one, I guess. Yes, it's that one. But I just added this for some reason here, I guess. Next is going to be our search, like the main search thing, I guess. So we'll go to homepage underscore input search. So I think this also unnecessary class I've added. I don't know what class. I'm just copy pasting my old code over here. Next comes the buttons over here. And you can see that we just make the display space between. So this is the buttons class so that we stretch everything and give a margin. And this is going to be the main button over here. So what you're going to do is basic button thing over here, like add a background color, give it text and good outline and I added this transition because we're going to do an animation type of thing. Like with a smooth button hover over here like this. So we'll just change the background color whenever the hover thing is done. Okay. So that's it for our styles, and I think our thing should look very cool now. I don't know why it has not done it yet. So let's reload this once so that it looks cool. This is the style. I think I have added unwanted styles. I'm not sure here. So why it's not taking place is because we have not imported the thing. We're not imported the file here. This it's a normal import dot slash home dot css. So this will basically add the CSS classes. I hope over here. Let me check if it's reloading. So it's compiling and can see that we have the Google page. Yay! See that it looks so amazing, guys. Actually, for this, I'm going to change it to like Google search. Guys, I'm saying that keep this project private because you don't know what Google does. They might come knocking at your door saying that you have copied my site. So this is completely for educational purposes. We are not cloning Google over here, and don't use this for any commercial purposes, guys. You can see that our thing looks really smooth over here, guys. And that's it. Thanks for this video. Thanks for watching this, spending your time on this. And there's something called a subscribe button below. What that does is basically helps me a lot to make new videos. It encourages me to make a new video. There's also the like button, which will basically means that you like my video. If you like my video, click the like button then. And if you liked this project, then I think you should click the subscribe button. Thank you guys also.
लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए महाकाल का दबा के लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए 5000 लौटे दिख जाना चाहिए ये 4000 के लिए मैं यहाँ पे नहीं खड़ा हूँ पूरा साल मेहनत करता हूँ आपके लिए बेटा ऐसा नहीं चलेगा लाइक ठोकी दबा के